So the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell have caved on inflation, but the reasons are not due to the CPI report this morning. Today is Friday, October 24th, 2025. If you guys like the video, maybe give it a like, comment your thoughts. You can also come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Let's get into it today. So we did hit 6,800. We talked about that yesterday as a possibility. I did think we'd probably see a little bit of kind of rally sold into after, but that really hasn't been the case so far. And bulls actually had a little bit of an advance after that. You can see here on the futures, we did push through. Yeah, we got the reaction candle, and now we're just pressing up against it. I do think we'll see a minor little dip into the into the power hour. You can just see here. I mean, it's pretty clear to see, but yeah, just a lot of call decay on 6,800. So I would assume those are going to get closed out. It should remove the deltas down. Unless they want to power it up and then really just FOMO push it. But the 68.30 or 25 to 30 that we talked about earlier, those are like absolutely dead in the water at this point. From the morning video there, you can see. Yeah, I mean there's a little bit left. Who knows? Maybe they just greedily goose it up there, but I think we'll still see a little bit of a dip off that. You can see IWM 250, right? QQQ, it's probably not going to get to 620 today. Apple, around the, it's actually got above 260, but we'll see if it does inch back down. Tesla, we talked about that yesterday, 450. So a lot of these things hitting major walls. Nvidia 185, SMH 350 area. So pretty pinned down for the most part here. So I think we'll just see kind of some more consolidation at the current time. That said, the Fed right now, so the market is rallying. I don't think it's necessarily, I mean, look, the expectation was 3 to 3.1. It came in at 3, so did core. And politically, that's kind of a nightmare, even though like Trump and all them are trying to spin it. There's no inflation. Okay, well, all right, whatever. It's above your stated goal. But, there's that. And you got oil upticking too on this. It's flat today, but it has upticked nicely. And what's interesting too is if we look at the bond market, ZB is flat, TYX right now is green, and the 2-year note is flat. It's actually red for the week. So we have the dollar index flat to positive as well. So the market's saying inflation here. That said, this isn't like the Fed saying, 3% is a good thing. To me, it is the expectation of quantitative tightening ending. And a lot of banks are already out there saying that. Few said that yesterday. But the real reason for that is this guy right here. So again, we have another signal of stress here, 0.13 here. So again, we're basically past the local high from December, where we had that huge meltdown, and that probably caused a little bit of a stress spike. But we're at 2019 levels here of just repo stress, and the market just can't handle it. And now I would have thought, again, I would have thought we could have gotten a little bit. I know what a crime to get like a 5% dip. We had to settle for like 2 3/4%. And I thought it would have made sense too, because now they're going to cut with QQQ at all-time highs, SMH at all-time highs, S&P at all-time highs, Dow at all-time highs, and inflation at 3%. They're going to cut again. So we got, Fed Watch tool is now saying, 95% odds of a cut, or 97, whatever, close enough. So they're going to cut next week. They're going to end QT, and we're at new highs now. So politically, this is a nightmare, but I would have thought it would have made more sense just let some air out first. That way you can at least, I guess maybe they just don't care anymore. And maybe that's just the existential dread that's going on right now with the market. But right now, bottom line, as far as the charts are concerned, maybe we see some stress over the weekend. Again, Blackstone not really looking that hot. I don't love that chart at all. It's not behaving like they're getting liquidity injections. It is up today, but barely. I mean, look at that versus the S&P, and look at Bitcoin right now too. Just look at IBIT. That's a borderline red today. So crypto not kind of acting like liquidity is coming. Maybe it catches up next week. But there's a chance that we could get some sort of. I would say right now, there could be sell the news. I know everybody's going to say that that's going to happen, and it's possible. But I would say right now your supports down are 67.50, and this is what I've been telling my clients today. If we 6,700 on any sort of back test trap, we got the Fed next week. We've got earnings. We've got a China trade deal set up. If that falls through and the market comes down 6,700, that would be your like a crap level. There's still that issue there, but it looks like they're going to plug it. I mean, you got HYG gapping above that trend line, and S&P gapping above the trend line. XLF looks like it's going to clear that red bar. KRE not so much just yet. It might do it by the end of the day. It's trying, but I don't love what I see at Blackstone, honestly, and that's a big important company. I know people don't care, but I wouldn't point it out if it wasn't an issue. But again, like I said, it does look like they're gonna plug it like I figured. I just thought they would let some air out of it first. But nonetheless, market continuing up. That said, from a technical standpoint, I still do think we will get that pullback next week. By pullback, I mean like a retest of at least kind of this breakout area. It's just structurally, I don't love the setup still, right? I mean, it's just not a very like robust. I mean, it's a good pump here, we're up 1%, but it's just not a strong position to break out from, if you ask me. I would think here, and again, just this heavy dispersion that keeps us from making any sort of actual dip attempt. But structurally, like if we did something like this and then went higher, yeah, that would have so much better legs. Whereas now it feels like we're just going to do another situation where it's kind of like going back to here in mid-August where we broke out, and then it kind of just broke out for like 100 points, and then it had to just do more backing and filling. So it's like we just can't get a good liquidity grab here. Even with this one here, I mean, like, okay, it was one day, but they couldn't even throw the bears one lower low. Anyway, so I would just say right now 67, that's your big level on the downside. 610 QQQ, first support down there. IWM, no new highs. So that's still the weak one. 250, still a lot of call interest there, and that's still acting, like that's the case. We've got the diamond here up 1.21, and at a fresh high as well, obviously. SMH here, fresh highs. So nothing else to add to that. Intel red. Any day Intel's red's a good day. And then IGV up 1.3. This one still remained. We talked about this on the weekly. This is never really broken on the weekly. So still pretty strong there. What is not strong is the transports. And, I guess you could make a case that this isn't bullish for the market. But, the transports have been going, they're red for the year, and the market's up 15%. So, it is what it is there. Oil obviously putting some pressure on them, and they're not really participating in the rally. I mentioned interest rates. We'll just look at the charts really quick. And yeah, 2-year yield's green on the week. So that's, I don't know, man. If you guys are smarter than me in the comments, let me know. 30-year green. So there's that. Back above 4.65. I don't know, maybe that would be problematic. XHB up 50 basis points. I still don't see momentum for this on the weekly time frame, but it can build that base though in time. IYR with a nice up move here, but no follow through intraday. It's kind of just flat right now. Weekly still looking pretty solid though. We talked about banks already. There's broker dealers. Nice uptick. Oil flat, but it sold off a little bit on CPI, but it's holding up. Like this didn't sell off that much. So I think next year is gonna be big for oil. Again, XLE sold off, but it's still up nicely for the week. XOP dipping today, still inside of that falling wedge. A higher low here increases the probability of a bull break there. And then you guys know I'm going to talk about OIH here. It is red on the day, but not by much. And it was green for a lot of the day too. And this monthly chart here, that closes above that red. I think this will trend all the way up to the 2018 levels. So I think oil services here. I mean, look at Halliburton. That weekly, it's clear in that red. Halliburton's, man, look at that 618, beautiful tag in April. If you got that, you're gonna kill it if you're holding that. But anyway, dollar index again, dollar flat to positive here, so it was able to shake off the CPI move and get back to green. Fed cutting, or are they not cutting? So gold here again, kind of showing some, I think, some stress, and you can see that in the Momo names, right? Oklo, bouncing here, even CCJ retesting this trend line. What's the other? Rigatoni, right? They're bouncing right now, but a lot of that I think is you're seeing winners being sold off here, at least as far as these Momo names are concerned. GDXJ, look at this weekly, right? Just nasty, right? That's topped out for now, and you're seeing that. Why? Because of the stress here, and I think it's a clear sign of that. That's usually how it works, right? Whenever there's stress and there's margin problems, you're going to sell your winners, right? Well, these are all big time winners, and we're seeing that come in. But they are rebounding a little bit here. Silver up off the lows again. I think we're in consolidation mode in these metals. Platinum and palladium, though, just remember, a lot of the time, like if you look at palladium here, this didn't top till 2022, right? With Russia, that Russia stuff going on, and even in platinum didn't top till months after gold topped in 2021. So they move a little bit differently. They're a little different, but they still look top heavy as well. But I'm just throwing that out there. Copper, good day today. So continuing the higher high. And if it can clear these pivots, it's going to make another one. So back below $5, it might need to consolidate more, though. Bitcoin, again, I mentioned this a minute ago, but yeah, just kind of soft, right? Like it's just not, and maybe it catches up. Maybe it catches up a little bit next week or over the weekend, but, and even ETH, like it's kind of, it's got the higher lows there, but if you lose this again, I could easily see this dropping down. Put our moving averages back. I could easily see this dropping back to the 200-day. But bigger time frame, the weekly, it's still holding the 20-week. So I'll give it the benefit of the doubt there until that says otherwise. But daily chart looks a little soft. Sol is a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, you'd think that today Bitcoin and cryptos would be mooning way more than everything else, and really not so much right now. Look at Nvidia bidding up here. Oh, OpenAI just announced a trillion-dollar deal. I don't know. I'm just shit posting on the video right now. But anyway, markets here holding up. We'll see if they try to goose it, or that maybe there's just another tease to bag more calls. But those 6,800s are pretty beaten down right now. That said, one last thing, there is at least a temporary level on the VIX at 16, and you can see it holding. It went right there. 1602 is the low, and it got a little dead cat off of that. Has nothing to do with the green bar, but after that, if it loses, we're going to 15. Just throwing that little extra bit out there. So anyways, guys, I'll wrap it up here. Yeah, and you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on CarnivoreTrades.com. We'll see you guys all next week.